Nile and all its mystique. This is undeniable and overt acknowledgement of the power of esoteric mystery traditions in determining, maybe even scripting, events in the world. A key code to the world's control matrix is the alphanumerical code of gematria, which is extremely easy to comprehend and will be explained for those who are not familiar with it later in this decode. The Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt was built at a 7:11 or 11:7 ratio. 7:11 and 11:7 are considered the numbers of the goddess Isis, coded into the Great Pyramid of Giza. In English gematria, the Great American Pyramid has a value of 117, the number of Isis. So, modern-day America intentionally coded with the mysteries of ancient Kemet. A focus on Memphis, Tennessee, and
a 7-Eleven icy.
The Tyre Nichols event and its aftermath and the ripple effect happens at the start of Black History Month in the United States. The state of Tennessee is also the birthplace of the infamous Ku Klux Klan, the well-known white supremacist terrorist organization, of which one of the greatest Freemason figures, Albert Pike, was a high-ranking member. Albert Pike was also instrumental in bringing Scottish Rite Freemasonry to prominence in the United States. Scottish Rite Freemasonry was the vehicle in which the Jesuit Illuminati infiltrated American Freemasonry. So, Tennessee, at the center and heart of the American narrative, and thus the location of this current ritual at this particular time. Memphis, Tennessee is recognized as the home of a king, the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, whose daughter Lisa Marie was born in Memphis and died just 2 days after Tyre Nichols died in Memphis. The city of Memphis, Tennessee resonates at an even greater level as the capital of the American soul, as the location of the killing of another American king, Martin Luther King Jr. in Kemet, Egypt. The king was titled Pharaoh, such as Ramses II, whose statue sits aside the Great American Pyramid in Memphis. So, the king, undeniably a central theme of the city of Memphis, Tennessee. Ramses II, known as Ramses the Great, Martin Luther King, Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll. Another king is famous for allegedly commissioning the building of the Temple of Solomon. That is King Hiram of Tyre. Tyre, that is Tyre, pronounced by Americans Tyre, as in Tyre Nichols, who was beaten in Memphis by the Memphis Police Department and died 3 days later. Tyre, King Hiram of Tyre, who built the Temple of Solomon. He envisioned and financed the building of the temple. Solomon himself was a king, described in the Bible's book of 1 Kings. So another occulted ritual link between the city of Memphis, Tennessee, and the king. This time it is King Hiram of Tyre, Tyre, the spelling of Tyre Nichols, originally from the city of Sacramento, California, a city whose only Major League Sports franchise is the National Basketball Association's Kings. As the world sits on the cusp of coronating an historic new king, Memphis, Tennessee, and the Tyre Nichols story is the latest chapter in epic, ancient, high ritual based off of the central archetype of the king. This is Rambo. These are the truth codes. started a series of decodes on the power of acoustic frequency. One theory is that the stones used to build the pyramids, temples, and great statues of ancient Egypt were cut and lifted into place using the power of harmonic resonance. The Great Pyramid has a unique acoustical resonance as demonstrated by modern American celebrity, acting, and singing superstar Beyonce, who visited the Great Pyramid in 2009 on 117 or 711, November 7th or 7th November. The number of Isis. Isis and her son Horus's image, the inspiration for the image of the Virgin Mary and her son Jesus. Hence, Beyonce entered the Great Pyramid on 711-117, November 7th, dressed as the Virgin Mary, who is Isis. Again, the pyramid built at a 7-to-11 ratio. Beyonce has produced and recorded a song titled 711, whose music video included a human pyramid. Memphis, Tennessee is associated directly with the power of acoustical resonance. It is the home of the blues and has influenced rock and roll and multiple other forms of music and has spawned a music genre of unprecedented global popularity and incalculable profits. Although most of those profits were not and are not seen by the actual inventors of the blues music, but nonetheless, one of the greatest contributions to worldwide human culture in history, the blues music, which started in the state of Tennessee. So, Memphis, Tennessee, like the Great Pyramid of Kemet, is associated with the power of harmonic frequency. Memphis's association with the power of harmonic frequency through its invention of the blues, which spawned rock and roll, is most popularly symbolized by a man dubbed a king. Elvis Presley, whose daughter, born in Memphis, died just 2 days after Tyre Nichols died at the hands of the Memphis Police Department. Lisa Marie Presley died in Los Angeles, whose NHL hockey team is the Kings. Tyre Nichols is originally from Sacramento, home of the National Basketball Association's Sacramento Kings. The city of Memphis, Tennessee resonate at an even greater level as the location of the killing of another American king, Martin Luther King Jr. So, Memphis, Tennessee, very much associated with the king. In Kemet, Egypt, the king was titled Pharaoh, such as Ramses II, whose statue sits inside the Great American Pyramid in Memphis. The king, a central theme to the city of Memphis, Tennessee. Another king is famous for allegedly commissioning the building of the Temple of Solomon. That is King Hiram of Tyre. Tyre, that is Tyre, pronounced by Americans Tyre, as in Tyre Nichols, who was beaten and killed in Memphis by the Memphis Police Department on January 7th. He died 3 days later, January 10th, 2023. Tyre, King Hiram of Tyre, who built the Temple of Solomon. Solomon, who was himself a king. So, another occulted ritual link between the city of Memphis, Tennessee, and the king. All this happens at a time when the world sees a new king. With no disrespect to any other royal family, the fact is that there is only one royal family in the world that is referred to as the royal family without their kingdom being specified. The world's new king, still yet to be inaugurated, is Britain's King Charles, whose zodiac sign is the Scorpion. Scorpio. There's a new Scorpion king. 5. Nichols and Nickel. He died 5 days before the birthday of the king, Martin Luther King Jr., who died in Memphis. Memphis, the ancient Egyptian capital of kings. From the January 10th, 2023 death date of Tyre Nichols to the May 6, 2023 inauguration of King Charles is a span of 117 days. Remember, 117 is the ratio to which the Great Pyramid of Giza was built. Tyre Nichols died in Memphis, Tennessee, which is named after a capital of ancient Egypt and has its replica of the Great Pyramid. 117, the ratio of the Great Pyramid. Great American Pyramid comes to 117 in gematria. Tyre Nichols, the king symbol as King of Tyre, has date synchronicity with the world's new king, who will be coronated on 6th May 2023, a date written 6-5 or 5-6. May 6. Tyre Nichols was born on the other 6-5/5-6 date. Great Pyramid equals 65. Scorpion Unit equals 65. Graceland equals 65. Memphis Blues equals 65. In 2016, the Phoenix Suns of the National Basketball Association unveiled an interactive fan activity called Lion King Cam, where the arena's jumbotron would focus on parents with infants in the crowd who would then be prompted to raise their child in the manner that Rafiki raised Simba in the movie The Lion King, one of the most iconic scenes in the history of animated film.